You think you made a choice this morning. You didn't. You reached for your phone or coffee. You stood in front of the mirror. You decided how to feel about the day. Every moment felt like you. In 1983, neuroscientist Benjamin Libet ran an experiment. People moved their wrist whenever they felt like it. He measured their brain activity. The brain showed electrical activity, the readiness potential, up to 7 seconds before the person consciously decided to move. 7 seconds. Your brain had already chosen. Your conscious mind received the notification late and called it a decision. So tell me, who made the choice? And if the answer isn't you, then who exactly are you? Think about how many versions of yourself you performed yesterday. At work, measured, careful. With your parents, smaller, more defensive. With a close friend, looser, but still not entirely unguarded. Which one was real? Jung called the public self the persona, from the Latin word for actor's mask. The persona isn't a lie, it's a necessary interface. The problem isn't the mask, the problem is forgetting there's a face underneath. Now add this, Asch's conformity experiments. A group shown 2 lines. The answer was obvious, but everyone else gave the wrong answer. 75% of people agreed with the group, denying what their own eyes showed them. Not because they were stupid, because social rejection fires through the same neural pathways as physical pain. Your independent opinions trace them back. Which room were you in when you adopted them? There's a belief you quietly stopped believing, but kept defending publicly. Because being wrong doesn't feel like a mistake, it feels like a small death. When people encounter evidence against their beliefs, they don't update, they attack the evidence. You're not protecting a belief, you're protecting the version of yourself that had it. Jung called what lives behind that door the shadow, everything about yourself you refuse to see. The shadow doesn't disappear, it drives. And your brain processes negative information 5 times faster than positive. You replay the insult, not the compliment, every time. That argument from 4 years ago, you've rehearsed it more times than any single moment of genuine joy. The embarrassing moment you still carry, research shows people forgot it within hours. They were thinking about themselves. You have been performing for an empty theater. None of this makes you broken. Let's be precise, not reassuring, precise. You are a biological organism running software optimized for an environment that no longer exists. The conformity instinct, functional when exile from the tribe meant death. The negativity bias, life-saving against physical predators. All of it made sense, once. Jung spent decades describing what happens when a person becomes aware of this machinery. Not cured, not fixed, aware. He called it individuation, the uncomfortable work of meeting yourself honestly, recognizing the persona as a tool, not an identity, acknowledging the shadow instead of projecting it onto others. Most people don't do it, not because they're lazy, because your brain is ruthlessly optimized for comfort. Awareness is uncomfortable, the shadow is uncomfortable, so the brain fills silence before the silence can say anything, and you let it. Tomorrow morning, you'll wake up. You'll reach for something, stand in front of the mirror, perform the first version of yourself the day requires.
and it will feel like you. Maybe there's genuine agency, even if it's thinner than you ever wanted to believe. But here's the only thing that changes, if anything changes. You can notice. Not fix, not transcend. Notice. Catch yourself conforming. Notice that the shame is also automated. Defend a belief you've privately abandoned. Notice the cost. Replay the insult for the 100th time. Notice the mechanism, even while it runs. Jung didn't promise awareness would make you free. He said it would make you real. And in a life built on masks, on edited memories, on stories you keep rewriting, real is the rarest thing there is. Tomorrow morning, something will make your choices. The only question is whether you're watching.
You've heard all of this now, and something in you is already working to neutralize it. Maybe you're thinking, I already knew this. Maybe this doesn't apply to me. I'm more self-aware than most. Notice that. That reaction, the quiet distancing, the subtle superiority, is the persona defending itself in real time, right now. This is what Jung meant when he said, the shadow is invisible precisely to the person who carries it. The most defended people are never the ones who say, I have nothing to hide. They're the ones who believe it. You don't have to dismantle anything today. No dramatic revelation is required. But the next time you feel certain, pause. The next time you feel unfairly judged, pause. The next time silence feels unbearable, don't fill it. Just sit in it long enough to hear what it's actually saying. The mirror has always been there. You just kept walking past it. Everything we've covered, the automated decisions, the masks, the shadow, the empty theater, none of it was meant to paralyze you. It was meant to make you uncomfortable enough to look. Because here's the only honest thing left to say. You will not change after watching one video. Neither will I pretend that's possible. But something smaller and far more durable might happen. You might catch yourself once mid-performance, mid-conformity, mid-replay of an insult no one else remembers. And for 1 second, you'll see the mechanism. That second is everything. Not enlightenment, not freedom, just a crack of light in a room that's been sealed for a long time. Jung didn't call it a solution, he called it a direction away from the automated life, towards something that at least has the texture of genuine choice. If that direction interests you, there's more here, more of these conversations, more of these uncomfortable, necessary mirrors. Subscribe, not for motivation, not for answers. Subscribe because you've decided that seeing clearly, even when it stings, is better than the comfort of not looking at all. The next video is already waiting.